Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Maybe this is the one. hmm Yeah. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to my channel. The one and only, my secondary channel, the number one grinder, real talk. One of the best kept secrets on YouTube. The best of the business. Be putting it down for a long time. I got a special guest. Now, we ain't gonna call him no guest. He's family. One of the uprising stars. Within a few years, he's gonna be a legend. From Canada. Boxing announcer. Boxing. Ring announcer, I mean. The one and only Pierre Burnett. But before we get to that, I'm gonna play this intro. Then I'm gonna hit you with the one and only his intro. And it's going to get started. So I'm gonna hit you with the short intro, and we'll be right back. Welcome to my channel, the underrated darkness, yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder, the best kept secret in YouTube. Hold on for 1 second, please. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Hold on. I got it, I got it, I got it. I got it, I got it. There it is.
167.8 pounds. S'affiche his professional record, an excellent one. 27 victories, only 1 defeat, with 21 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the IBS #1 ranked contender from La Habra, California, in the United States. Librado Andrade. Son adversaire dans le coin rouge is a opponent in the red corner. Il n'a besoin d'aucune introduction. Il porte la culotte bleu et argent. Wearing blue, red with silver. Son poids officiel, 168 livres. He weighed in at 168 pounds. S'affiche parfaite. 22 victoires, dont 18 par mise hors de combat. His professional record, absolutely perfect. 22 wins, no defeats, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Ce soir, il règne avec une domination incontestée en tant que champion mondial de l'IBF. Introducing the current, undefeated IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the world, de Montréal, Lucian Boutet!
All right, all right. There goes the one right there. There he is right there. Introduce yourself, please.
Well, first and foremost, Jerry, I have to say that it's truly a pleasure to be on the #1 grinder. I'm really happy. Talking boxing, talking shop is what I love to do the most. My name is Pierre Bernier. I'm a ring announcer based out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. In Canada, United States, separated by different states, Canada, all different provinces. I'm in a mainly French-speaking province. That would explain how the introduction was for all the people in the United States listening to the podcast. Well, that was French, and that's how we do it here.
Thank you. You know, I was looking for it. And I remember I seen that fight.
They went at it twice. Lucian Boutet fought Librado Andrade twice, and the first fight ended in controversy. I remember. It was, if I recall correctly, it was broadcast on Showtime.
Yes.
I think it was my first or second time on the Showtime network. Wonderful people to work with.
Yeah. You know, and then I got some pictures I'm going to show you, but we're going to do that in a few minutes. But again, I know people say it's a ghost. No, this is the real one right here. The upcoming rising star of ring announcers. I've been a big fan of him for a while. I've been following you. I said that people say, wait, I'm telling you, watch he's going to see me on do one. I'm telling y'all, and then that's what I'm saying, y'all. When I first seen him on Facebook, I said I got to grab him because, it's an honor. That's all I'm going to say. It's an honor, and I'm glad that you're happy. And anybody that hear my voice and hears what's come on, and please come on in. So we're going to get this going. And welcome again to the #1 grinder, Real Talk. And thank you so much for blessing us. Now I want to know where you originally were from Canada, right?
That's right. Montreal, Quebec, province of Quebec.
Oh, province of Quebec. So I know you're Canadians. Y'all got a lot of championships.
Well, we're definitely. We're a sports. Montreal is home of the Montreal Canadiens.
Yes.
We are the most winning Stanley Cup winning professional hockey team of all time. We are legendary. We're we're the Habs. Montreal, the Canadiens are called the Habs, and we are a hockey city, but we are a boxing city. I mean, we have to remember that, and I also have a great anecdote to go with that one. June 20th, 1980. Now that's going back. I'm going to be 58 years old. I'm probably a lot older than a lot of the listeners out there. But June 20th, 1980, his return to Montreal after winning Olympic gold at the 76 games here in Montreal. Ray Leonard battled the Hands of Stone, Roberto Duran, at the Olympic Stadium. He made his way back to the stadium for the brawl in Montreal, and what a brawl it was. And I was there. I was there live, 16 years old. Now, my parents, we didn't come from money. So for my 16th birthday, I remember my dad telling me, he tells me, he says, what do you want for your birthday? What would you like to have for your birthday? So I said, hey, you know, I never thought it possible, but I said, you know, I want to go to a fight. I mean, it was in my hometown, and it was, I mean, it was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, Ring Magazine, Boxing Illustrated. It was the fight. It was anticipated. So, and I get choked up when I talk about this, because he asked me, said, well, if we were going to go, and the tickets were expensive then, we're talking, you know, we're talking a long time ago. And he said, would you rather, he said, tickets start at $50 and we're in a pit. I said, would you rather go together with me at $50, or you could go by yourself for $100? So right away I said, you know, and again, it chokes me up. I said, you know, I'd rather go with you. Excuse me. I got to compose a little bit. So right away, split second later, he took out he took out $100 ticket out of his pocket, and he said, "You're going to the fight." And it was memorable. It was memorable for me. I mean, it was pouring rain that night. It was June 20th, and it was cold, unusually cold and raining. And the stadium's roof was not completed for the Olympics, nor was it completed for the fight, of course, because the Olympics was 4 years before. So, I mean, it was raining on me. And I swear the people like 2 rows behind me, I should say, it wasn't raining on them. But I was in the unlucky spot where the rain was starting right on me. But I could see the action. I had binoculars and I was watching. I was far away. But, you know, my idols, you know, back then, one of my favorite fighters of all time, Sugar Ray Leonard, he lost that fight. He did. He fought Durant's fight. He lost that fight. Rematch was another thing, though. When they went back at it in New Orleans, that was different. That was the No Mas one. I'm sorry, Jerry. I'm rambling on. I'm rambling on.
No, it's all right. No, we want to hear that because I got some pictures for you.
Oh, yeah, I got to see.
Yeah, you're going to see in a few minutes. But let's get this going. And again, welcome to my channel, the #1 Grinder Real Talk. We with the one and only, the upcoming star of ring announcer, the one and only Pierre. And I'm honored. Thank you so much. And we honored in the chat too. Now, let me ask you a question. Is your parents still living?
No, they passed on.
Oh, sorry.
They passed on.
Passed on. Okay, do you have
my mom got to see me. My father died first. My mom got to see me do the Bell Center, which was the biggest venue here in Montreal where the Canadiens play. She was very proud of that. She got to see me do a world championship fight.
Wow.
Yeah, I was very, very happy for that.
Wow, that's deep.
And I mean, you know, I've always been, like I was just saying, I've always been a fight fan. And for me to be in the ring and to be introducing these tremendous fighters and you know, on US networks and all that, it's a dream come true for me. You know, it's I don't know, it's like a Sixers fan getting a job sitting on the bench with the players. Can't beat that. You can't buy that. Incredible.
It's incredible. Now, do you have any
Yeah.
brothers and sisters?
Yes, I had one sister and passed on as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. But you know what I'm going to do before we continue? I'm going to dedicate this live to your late mother, no, to your late parents, and anybody that lost within your family. We're going to dedicate this live to them. How about that?
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, go along. When do you start getting to boxing? Do you ever box and everything?
You know, I started boxing, bullied at school. I started boxing. I was about 8 years old. And I got to admit, I mean, I was all right, but I was never going to be at the level of the fighters that I'm introducing today.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to tell you this funny and very interesting anecdote.
Go ahead.
My mom used to believe in palm readers and tarot readers and all these, esoteric stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I come home from the gym. I got to be about maybe 10, 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom's with some lady who's reading her palm. And the lady tells me, oh, hi, how are you? So my mom says, this is my son. He's coming home from working out,
Mm-hmm.
So the lady tells me, she says, well, can I look in your palm? Can I look in your hand? So I'm like, well, so my mom says, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. So I give her my hand and I'm 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She proceeds to tell me, oh yeah, I see you in the future. I see you're standing somewhere and it's like a box, you're standing. And by the way, this lady didn't know I was coming back from boxing. She just knew I was out doing athletics.
Oh.
She says, I see you in a box or something. And people all around you, they're chanting, they're screaming. Now, Jerry, the first thing that comes to my mind is she's never seen me box. Because if she had, she'd know I'm in no ring with thousands of people around me. That's for sure. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? She saw it. She saw it. Incredible how life is. I guess she was right. Because I am standing in the ring and there are thousands of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let me read this off before we continue. Just remember us as the righteous ones. We are still winners. That's the real. And that's from me. And so whenever you practice righteous, y'all just remember, y'all, we are winners and stuff, including my brother right here. You definitely winners. Let me hit this right there. And NG, thanks for coming. Yes, he is a gentleman. He is a Jew. So I thank y'all for that and everything. Now, you went to college?
Yes.
What college you went to?
Went to college.
What college you went to?
I went to a university in Montreal called Université du Québec à Montréal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. What's your major?
Communications.
Communications. Okay. Now, okay, yeah. we're gonna skip all the years and all like that. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty. And now, how long you box?
A couple of years. Decent amateur record. 26-1.
Hey, that's something. What do you mean?
That's not bad.
Something.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You need.
Yeah.
So all right. So let me ask you a question. When is the time that you said, I don't want to box no more, and I want to get into ring announcer?
Well, that came much later on. Whereas, I was working in and working out and, in the famous Montreal gym called TriStar. That's where George St. Pierre started out, and very famous gym. I'd work out there, and there was a man there who used to hold amateur and smaller professional cards. So at one point, it just happened that I was there, and I wasn't really shy about public speaking and all that. So he asked me, he said, you know what, would you be interested in doing the card tomorrow? Because the guy doing the card, he can't do it or something like that. Anyway, last minute situation, I filled in, and you know what? I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed introducing the fighters, and I enjoyed the energy. I enjoyed being in the middle. And the part that I enjoy the most, I would have to say, is referees' final instructions. The eyes, Jerry, the eyes. So much goes on in those last few seconds when both fighters are looking at each other.
Wow.
It's the stare down.
Wow.
You don't play boxing or MMA. It's serious stuff.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask this question, Queen, who I am. And then after, but the next 30 to 40 minutes, you willing to take questions?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to ask this question. And then, but the rest of y'all, I want y'all to wait to 30, 40 minutes. I'm going to let you know. So then y'all can put the questions out there. But Mrs. Queen said, did you ever announce any U.S. fighters? I know you did, but
no, I haven't. I've announced many U.S. fighters. I've announced on every major U.S. network, HBO, Showtime. I did Premier Boxing Champions, Fox Network, ESPN, but I've never ring announced in the United States per se.
Wow. We gotta change that over here. We gotta change that over here. Now, I noticed that you have been part of Eye of the Tiger management. Can you tell us more about that? And how long have you been with them? Because it seems like y'all like a family.
You know what? You hit the nail right on the head. I've worked with quite a few promoters, but this group is family. And I'm the exclusive voice for Eye of the Tiger. I'm the official ring announcer for the group, and they are taking the world by storm. Eye of the Tiger, one of their fighters is David Lemieux. He's the former IBF middleweight champion.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Beat Hassan Endon, then went on to fight Gennady Golovkin. I mean, his fight with he fought Gennady Golovkin, and after that he went to New York and he had a terrific fight with Curtis Stevens, the cerebral assassin. Now,
yes.
Oh, that's a great. I like that. I just saw that. That's a great shot. That was meeting one of my idols, Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, he told me he enjoyed my work. He liked my work. Yeah. So he had a terrific fight with Curtis Stevens and knocked him out. I mean, a throwback knockout. And that was very, very impressive. But they also have right now an up and coming heavyweight. And the thing that comes to mind to me about this young man is, by the way, he's 13-0, 13 KOs. He has started a young career, okay? A young career. He's the NABF heavyweight champion right now. He has stopped, okay? He's stopped Sam Peter, who you know was in the ring with the Klitschkos, or at least one of the Klitschkos. He recently stopped Jonathan Rice, who's on the undercard of a big card in the United States recently. He is a wrecking machine. 13-0, 13 KOs. Arslanbek Le Lion, which means lion, Makhmudov. And I mean, we have another promising young super middleweight. He's the WBC Continental of Americas, Christian Solid, which means solid, very simple translation, Mbili. He just beat Ronald Ellis in Pennsylvania. Oh, we've got an incredible roster. I mean, Stephen Bang Bang Butler, who was just in a world title fight in Japan. I mean, this is a dedicated young man. Simon Keane, 2012 Olympian. He beat Tony Yoka. He's a ranked heavyweight. It's a great. They have such a terrific group of young fighters. It's incredible. And this promoter, and I don't know, I haven't done the research, but it's very interesting, and I want to try to find this out. On this promoter, by the way, they're celebrating their 10th year, okay? And it's just incredible. On the first card that this promoter, his name's Camille Estefan, he promoted his first card, and on that card, he had the future WBC heavyweight champion of the world. I don't know if there's any other promoters out there. Maybe some of the listeners could tell me if there's any other promoter out there that on his very first card had the future heavyweight champion of the world on it.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't think so. It's got to be rare.
That's very rare, especially in the business. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Now, who's this young lady?
Oh, that's my lovely wife, Sharon. 31 years married.
Wow.
We're married 31 years.
Wow.
31 years, 2 beautiful kids. Yeah, it's great.
Y'all look good. Take a CC.
Sharon, say hi to Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi.
She's
How you
always
doing? Nice
good.
meeting you. I'm excited.
Come on, Sharon, get on.
Oh, get on. Come
People want to
on.
hear you.
Nobody wants. Oh my God.
What's it like to be the wife of a ring announcer, Sharon?
Yeah, we want to hear. We want to hear.
Tell me who you got to meet. Jerry, I got to tell you this story. My wife is not into boxing at all. Not at all. She's the one in the 3rd or 4th row with the iPad. And when I start introducing, she lifts her head up and looks at me. Fight starts, she's back on the iPad. But that's really rare that she comes. At one point, she tells me, there's a fight coming up. I'd really like to go see that one. So I say, I'm thinking, but why? And she's persistent. I want to go. Guess who was at that fight? Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, Bernard is a gentleman. And so's Oscar. Very, very, very nice.
Yeah, you told my Bernard Hopkins. Hey, here you go.
Yeah, that's right.
What a gentleman.
Yeah, we were laughing it up then. I remember that was either a weigh-in or a press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were talking about our kids.
Wow.
I told him, I said, some saying I heard somewhere, I forget. I said, but we talk about the kids in education. I said, justification for a higher education. And Bernard looks at me, goes, I have to write that down. He liked that one.
Yeah, he liked
that. Yeah, great.
One.
And that's another great moment for me. At one point, we're at a casino or something like that. We'd just gone through the weigh-in, and Bernard is hanging around. He's like, Pierre, you know what? When are we going back to the hotel? You know, we're waiting for different people to start taking us to the hotels, you know, and back to where we were, but, you know, out of the casino. So Bernard tells me, he says, Pierre, he says, I tell him, I say, you know, I'm going back right now, and I'm from Montreal, so I got my own car. I said, I'll give you a ride to the hotel, no problem. He says, really? Yeah. He says, hey, you hungry? I go, sure. So Bernard Hopkins, okay, who I used to buy pay-per-views of Bernard Hopkins to watch him fight, he takes me to lunch. So I'm sitting there, and we're in an atrium at the hotel, and people are walking by, and they're looking. Like, my God, it's Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins. And at one point, I'm looking at this, and I'm not really focusing on what he's telling me. In my head, I'm thinking, I'm sitting here, I'm having lunch with Bernard Hopkins. He's buying me lunch, and we're talking. I'm like pinching myself. Is this happening to me or what? Just incredible.
Just incredible.
Just fantastic.
So how long you knew Bernard Hopkins?
Well, we met when David Lemieux fought Hassan Endam. That should be about 4 or 5 years ago. And he came to Montreal for the fight, and that's where we met. Okay. Great guy, very, very nice man.
So
Very
now
nice man.
I want to ask you a question. And Sharon, we want to hear from you. What is like to live with a boxing announcer? We still
Oh,
waiting for
Jerry, she's gone now. It's The Bachelor's on now. So
back.
we
Okay,
kind of
okay,
lost Sharon.
okay, no problem. Okay. So let me ask you this.
Sharon's on The Bachelor now.
Yeah, she's on the back. Okay, I got you. So who's your favorite boxer of all time to you?
Very difficult question.
Mhm.
I grew up watching the end of Muhammad Ali, the iconic, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He's the greatest. But I also grew up with my mom, who was a big boxing fan. I grew up watching Sugar Ray Robinson, old videos, old footage, Super 8 footage, Sugar Ray Robinson. And to me, he was the best. But for me, to watch for the era. But my favorite of all time was Sugar Ray Leonard.
Now,
Sugar Ray Leonard was my fighter.
Sugar Ray fight. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this: that the one that trained briefly Muhammad Ali and mostly Sugar Ray Robinson, the trainer. His son is my Facebook friend, Harry Wiley Sr. Yes. Yeah, we gonna talk about that on the Facebook Messenger. Yeah, yes. I'm trying to get him on too, but it's hard because he's sickly and stuff like that. But yeah, so I need to pass that on to you. Yes, his father trained the late great Sugar Ray Robinson, and also Henry Armstrong too.
Oof, wow.
Yeah. His father was no joke. Yeah. Father, they were saying
that is throwback stuff, my friend.
Yeah, that is throwback. But I just gonna pass that on to you. Now,
can I just tell you a Sugar Ray Leonard story?
Go ahead.
So at one point, I'm hired as a ring announcer to host a book signing event by Alexandre Choko. That's Choko. And he has a book. To all the listeners out there, you have to do some research and you have to find this book. It's called The Future of Boxing. It's a hardcover. It's a huge book. He's done interviews with so many fighters. It's incredible. It's definitely something that any fight fan would simply love to get their hands on. And I know it could be found out there. It's called The Future of Boxing. It's really good. So I'm hired to host this event. Mm-hmm. And I find out that we are going to be having, icons at this event. Leon Spinks, who unfortunately passed away a year ago yesterday. Leon passed away.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Jake
LaMotta. Famous referee Joe Cortez.
Yes.
And they tell me we're having another guy's coming. So I go, who's coming? He says, Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm like, wow. Now that's, to me, dream come true. And the promoter of the event tells me, he says, you know what? He says, I'd like for you to, all the other guys, you're introducing them, just by their name, and the crowd's going to like it and all that. But it says, Sugar Ray Leonard, could you say his record? Would you know his record? Like I looked at the gentleman, I said, there's no other way to introduce Sugar Ray Leonard for me than with his proper boxing introduction. And before I called that out to the crowd, before I introduced them, I told people sitting, a large group, we were at the Ritz-Carlton, beautiful venue. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting close to 30 years to do this. And I introduced him. And then he came in the ring, and he's such a gentleman, such a nice man. And he showed me what a Sugar Ray Leonard close-up flurry was. Oh, God. That's That's flirting with death. Oh my God. I saw those punches millimeters away from my face, and it was incredible. My God. The speed was still there. It was incredible. Such a moment, such another great moment that I've had as a boxing fan. Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. And also, what other fighters that have you announced?
Well, one of the young fighters that I got to announce that I was very happy to do so, and I actually I had a picture taken with him after, was King Ryan Garcia. He fought in Montreal.
Wow.
Yeah, fought in Montreal on an undercard. He was part of the undercard early in his career, and yeah, I mean, he's quite an impressive young man. As a fighter, very impressive to watch. It's like when you see a young man like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just so much talent, and in his case particularly, there was just so much speed. So much speed. I got to introduce Wembley, England. I was the ring announcer for Tyson Fury against Derek Chisora, the first bout they went through.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. That was an incredible night as well. Beautiful trip, London, England. Hennessy Sports brought me out there. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I mean, Tyson Fury, and he wasn't heavyweight champion back then. The fight was for the BBBFC, the British Boxing Board of Control heavyweight title, and Tyson won that fight. Yeah, that was another great moment as well.
So let
enjoyed
me
that
immensely. Enjoy that. So let me ask you this question: Are you announcing? Are you a ring announcer? I noticed that. How do I say this? Are you a part-time ring announcer?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. You working?
Well, I mean, I part-time. Anytime you want me to ring announce, I just love the fights, and I just love going and ring announcing.
Okay.
I'm just a huge fan. Huge fan.
So do you see yourself doing it full-time in the near future?
Listen, whatever happens to come my way, I'll be very happy. Like I said, in Quebec, in my province here, which would be like if I lived in a specific state in the United States, I'm signed to Eye of the Tiger. So I do all their fights, but I go out, I will go to different other provinces. Like I went to England and do other fights for other promoters. That's very enjoyable too. But Eye of the Tiger is it's my main team. That's my group.
Got you. Yeah, got you.
And they're having a fight. And for all the listeners out there, they have a fabulous site called punchinggrace.com. You have to dot that down. It's called punchinggrace.com, and you could subscribe online, and it's all the Punching Grace, all the punchinggrace.com shows all the Eye of the Tiger cards. We've got a solid card happening February 19th. Arslanbek Makhmudov, the big Russian, big powerhouse heavyweight, 13-0, undefeated, all KOs. He's on that card.
God. So what is it again? What is it again?
It's punchinggrace.com.
Punchinggrace.com. That's on YouTube, right?
Be good. Could you show that picture instead of me and Bernard there? Show that Punching Grace, that logo there, so the fans could see it and they could tune in. And not only that, they could see the whole library of Eye of the Tiger and Interbox.
She put it down. Thank you. Thank you, who I am. Let me see. Do I have a picture on that? I don't think let me see. Because I was trying to pull it up. Let me see. No, I don't think. Let me see. I don't. Nah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull it up.
That's my wife and Bernard Hopkins.
There you go. I see. I tell you, I got you. I got you. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, I know you love.
Bernard's a funny guy. Bernard said to my wife in that shot, he said, "Is that's your husband? This is your guy?" It's funny. He's so funny.
So
Yeah, this was like a what was that? A bucket list thing. That's my bucket list. I bought myself a Harley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bought yourself a house. Yeah, that look all right. Now.
Fun times.
So you always into bikes?
Not really. Not really. One of those things. I don't know. I've always heard about this bucket list thing, and it never made any sense to me till I walked into Harley Davidson. I left with a bike. I don't know. My wife doesn't exactly stop me from anything like that. She encourages me. Sure, go ahead. You gotta have fun.
Right.
You just gotta have fun. And when I'm in the ring, I'm having fun. And it's as a ring announcer, for me, it's an emotional thing. You have to feel it. That's why it's been very hard for me. I've done a few cards during the pandemic where no one is there. I mean, we're just broadcasting, and that's very hard. I feed off. I mean, I thrive to have the audience. You know, I mean, you know, the contact with them, and I love when the fight fans come to see me. You know, during the card, after the weigh-in, at the press conference, and we talk shop, we talk boxing. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm the guest that you've probably had that talks pretty much a lot. I love talking boxing. I just love it. I love talking old fights. I love going back. I mean, I remember when Muhammad Ali fought Jimmy Young. And another one of my saddest moments, and I remember going to see this on pay-per-view at the legendary Forum in Montreal, not the Inglewood Forum in LA. In Montreal, we used to have the Forum where the Canadians won all those Stanley Cups. And I went to see Ali fight Larry Holmes. And I'm not embarrassed to say, I was holding back my tears. I was a young man then. But to see that was awful. I was sad.
You know, I remember I seen that. I'm telling my age. I beat 56 in June. But when I seen it, I booed. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't like that. I think Larry Holmes didn't want it either. It's like,
no, I felt sad for Larry too. He didn't want to
do it, man. You know, you could see them like it's like he didn't do it, and it's like, ref, are you going to stop the fight? And it's like the ref, you know, it's like I didn't like that time. I was 14. I was like, nah.
I hear this in French, okay? It's the equivalent of when people talk about certain boxers and they say, oh, he's like a stepping stone. He's he's a journeyman. He's I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I mean, every fighter, man or woman that steps into that ring, I mean, that's courage beyond. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, we've had a few tragedies in the past year. We've had one in Montreal.
Oh yeah, you know what happened? Do you mind say something about it, or you don't have to if you don't want to?
Well, I just thought it's a very sad and unfortunate thing that happened, you know, and nobody wants to see that happen. Nobody does. But I mean, it's you know what? It's a rough sport.
Yeah, it is a gladiator sport.
Like they say, you don't play boxing. You don't play.
You could die. You could die in there. People don't understand
that. Right.
You could die in boxing. Just a gladiator.
That's
sport.
why. That's why when anybody enters that ring, they deserve the utmost respect. Sparring or fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's true.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And now, this picture. Yeah.
That's our big network in Montreal. It's called TVA Sport. That was live on their network. That was great.
That's great. Yeah.
I love this. I get pumped. I enjoy that so much. I'm really in my element. I'm really enjoying the moment. And I mean, I can't wait to get back to my seat and watch the fights, because I mean, that's the cherry on top of the sundae. I mean, I get to see the fights. That's one of the reasons I actually started this. I remember that first night when that gentleman asked me to do that fight card. I had tickets to that fight card, and I'm like, well, what am I going to do with the tickets? He said, oh, I'll reimburse your tickets and you'll do the card. I forget how much he gave me, whatever. And from then on, in my head, I was thinking, this has got to be the greatest gig. I don't have to pay for tickets. I get front row seats. I get to watch the fights. This is the best of all worlds. Forget both worlds.
Yeah. 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 Now I got one more picture, and then here you go. You see, you was in your element.
You could see the logo of the site I'm telling you guys to hook up with. It's called punchinggrace.com. It's on that mic right now. You blow that up and you'll get right there.
Yeah,
it's a great deal. Great deal.
Great deal. Yeah. So, but now we gonna get to the nitty gritty. Ring announces, and I wrote some down. What do you? Now each one I want you to explain what they meant to you and stuff like that. And then again, another. Oh, there, I'm told the chat. In another 10 minutes, I'm gonna ask y'all to put your questions in the chat, but not yet. I'll let you know. Another 10 minutes. Michael Buffer.
Iconic. I've done the undercard for Michael Buffer, and I mean, I remember going to see a fight. I remember going to see Michael Buffer a fight card, and I think it was Brooklyn or Madison Square Garden or Barclay or something like that. And I'm watching, and this is a while back, and I'm with my son, as a matter of fact. And Michael is in the ring, and the flash cubes are going off, and he's the only one in the ring. And then the fighters came in, and there wasn't as many flash bulbs going on. And my son noticed it. He says, Dad, more people are taking pictures of Michael Buffer than they are the fighters. It's incredible. He's I mean, like I just said, he's just iconic. And I got another interesting anecdote. My son he's such a character, and when he was younger, he was even more of a character. So at one point, we have Lucian Bute, which when you played my introduction there, I think that was that fight. Lucian Bute Andrade. So Michael Buffer, I think it was in the second one. The first time Michael Buffer came to Montreal to do a big HBO main event, I did the undercard, and I was used to doing the main events. So my son, who was young at the time, says, Dad, he says, does it bother you? I say, what do you mean? What do you mean? What bothers me? He says, well, he says, you're usually doing the whole thing, the main events and all that. And now Michael Buffer's coming in. I go, Matthew, it's Michael Buffer, it's incredible. He says, yeah, I guess you're right. He says, I guess it's like your Bon Jovi opening up for Elvis. I thought that was so funny.
That is funny. Now,
yeah. Michael Buffer's a very nice man. He's very, very nice, very pleasant, very nice. And I also had the pleasure to work with Jimmy Lennon. Gentleman Jimmy Lennon.
I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
I was.
Jimmy said.
Yeah, I was going to talk about.
I actually helped Jimmy when.
No, go ahead.
What was that? I'm sorry, Jerry.
No. I was going to talk. I was going to ask you about his late father, Jimmy Lennon Sr. and son.
Well, of course, I remember Jimmy Lennon Sr. I mean, he did so many fights at the Forum when we'd have a chance to see them on CBS. And what I remember, Jimmy Lennon Sr. most for is in Rocky 3 when he introduced. Yeah, you know, I loved his introductions. He introduced Mr. T as Clubber Lang. Such a great introduction.
That's one of my late father's ring announcers. That's one of his favorite. His father.
Yeah, for sure. How could it not be? And like I said, I got to work a few times with Jimmy Lennon as well. And when Jimmy would come in, he would like to speak French or give a part of the introduction in French, and I would help him with that. I'd write it out phonetically, and we'd practice it out together. And we still communicate once in a while through emails. A wonderful guy, Jimmy. Wonderful man.
Wonderful guy. And his son.
Yes, that's who I met. I met Jimmy Lennon Jr. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I never met Jimmy Lennon Sr.
Oh, okay. Now
I have another anecdote because I have so many.
Go ahead.
About Jimmy Lennon Jr. At one point, I was hearing that there was going to be this big fight in Quebec City, and it was rumored to be on Showtime. So I wanted to know if I was going, I'm trying to figure out, am I going to be busy? Am I going to work? Am I not going to, I'm trying to get information. So I fired off an email to Jimmy. I said, on this specific date, there's supposed to be a fight. Have you been hired? Are you doing it? Jimmy writes me back, and this is where you see how and why he is the classy. Jimmy writes me back, yes, Pierre, unfortunately, I will be doing the card in Quebec City. And he adds, I hope this doesn't harm you in any way. Is that a gentleman or what?
Yes, it is.
That's a gentleman. That's a gentleman. Many, many times. I mean, Jimmy Lennon Jr. is fantastic. But I have to say, the one that really stood out for me, and I guess it's because of my age at the time, the one that I really saw that I like, and he, to me, he oozed Vegas class, the way he was, old style, Rat Pack Vegas, Chuck Hull.
Oh.
Remember Chuck Hull with the great fight?
Yeah.
Introducing all the fighters in the 80s. That was before Michael Buffer. Yeah, Chuck Hull was the guy. Yeah, and he used to always go, when he'd introduce a world champion, he'd always end with champion of the world. I used to love that. With he had the rings and the bracelet.
Yeah, that's the icon. That's like grandfather of a, he's a grandfather of us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I've been watching this a couple of years, Jerry. Chuck Hull.
Chuck Holmes. Yeah.
Chuck.
I was going to, I had this right here in my paper. Now, another one. I'm going to throw at you. Michael Buffer brother, Bruce.
Yes. High energy. Emotional from the first to the last word. He's all out there. He's all out there. He's vibrant. He once said, and I thought it was very good. He said, my brother, meaning Michael, is like a fine wine. And he says, I'm like a shot of Jack Daniels. That's what I'd agree with.
Yeah, I agree.
High energy. He loves it.
Now,
the motivation is there. It's
Really, I met both of them in New York, and because I'm originally from New York. I met both of them. It was in this Italian restaurant in Manhattan, and I was like, I was with this young lady back then. It was like years ago, and she said, "You want to go here?" It was like, "Nah, you too many." And then I've seen the two brothers. I said, "I'm a big fan of yours." He said, "Come on, y'all, come on in." I said, Yeah, come on in. And they came on in, sat at the table, talking. I'm talking about down to earth guys. They down to earth. They funny too. They are funny. He said, "You what you?" I said, "I can't eat no fish." And nothing. You get whatever you want, and it was so nice. And they gave me the autograph, and I lost it all. I said, "Y'all keep it a good way." He said, "Yeah, you know." I said, "Y'all keep it a good way because I know it's not easy." I said, "Yeah," but and then they gave me some tickets. They
Wow.
gave to the Madison Square
Wow.
Garden to the undercard because the other tickets, for the main event, it was sold out. They gave me some under ticket. I came the next day, and that's when that was during the
You know
time.
why?
But
Because they're boxing fans, Jerry.
they are,
Because they're
yeah,
boxing fans.
yes, they
That's
are,
why. Boxing fans are good people.
yeah, yeah.
Boxing fans are good people. That's why.
And it was so beautiful. I came there, and I watched the car, and I seen them, and they said, "Hey," and they said, "Whatever you want, food, and this, let it." They are so down to earth, and I'm gonna tell you, what, mostly ring announcers are down to earth people. They not, you know what I'm saying? They not like that, And going by talking to you now, another name, Michael
Jerry,
Williams.
nobody's buying tickets to see the ring announcer. We are not the event. We're only there to accentuate the positive. That's why we're there. We're boxing fans at heart, and that's what we do. We love the game, and we want to show the fans that how much we love the game, and we want them to love that game as much as we do. That's why we do it.
But
That's
but
why
but
I do it.
but I tell you one thing, though, but I had to disagree on this one. The ring announcers, we need y'all. Y'all hype it up. Because if y'all ain't been there, it just be boxing. Ain't nothing there. But y'all bring it. You know what I'm saying? Even the waiting and all of that, and then you put the topping on the cake when you're in the ring. I'm telling you, I have to say that y'all just like tie it up. Y'all just like, okay, this is it. Bang, let's fight. That's what I appreciate, y'all, what you're doing. Now, another name, Michael Williams.
Michael Williams. I like Michael. I like Mike a lot. Mike, first of all, he goes in there and he's like he's not wearing a tie or a bow tie. He doesn't look like the traditional, like I look like I'm getting married ring announcer. I like Michael Williams. Great delivery. Great delivery. I got to tell you, one of my favorites, I'd have to say, even he's up there. I mean, I really like Joe Martinez. Great voice.
Great voice.
Great voice with the Spanish names. Oh God, incredible.
Okay, I'm gonna get to your questions, Queen, but we gotta finish this up there. Dr. Freddie Pacheco and Marv Albert. Steve Albert. Steve Albert.
Yes, we're going back a ways.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, we are. Yeah.
Incredible. We're going back a ways.
Yeah.
Broadcasting, and Ali's personal doctor. I mean, I remember the whole blood pressure incident. I mean, they were taking Ali's and they were panicking. I mean, his blood pressure was through the roof. And then Ali's just, calm down. It'll come down. Don't worry about it. He's playing it, Dr. Freddie Pacheco. Working hand in hand with the great Angelo Dundee.
Yes, exactly. What do you think about Howard Cosell?
Oh, wow. When you're talking boxing, you cannot not include him in a boxing conversation if it has anything to do with broadcasting. I mean, you look at the old footage of him and Muhammad Ali. It was incredible. They had such chemistry. They had such chemistry together. And for so many years. Now as a ring announcer, it's important to have, I would say, a specific type of voice. But I mean, if you're in broadcasting and you got a voice like Howard Cosell, you're unique. He was unique, recognizable.
Yes, he was. Yeah, I said, Howard Cosell was from the same town in Brooklyn, New York. He went to the same high school I did too.
Really? I did not
Yes,
know that.
yes, he did. Yeah, Alexander Hamilton High School in Brooklyn, New York. He went there. Yeah. Yeah, he went there. That's an old y'all. So that's old school. That's old. There's another name now they renovated throughout a little bit throughout the years. Now Keith Jackson.
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a sec.
Oh, can you hear me
Did you?
now?
Who did you say? Yes, I do.
Keith Jackson.
I'm sorry. I don't
Okay.
want to be insulting, but it doesn't sound familiar to me.
Okay, no problem. We go. What about Albert and seeing O'Brady? Sean O'Brady.
Sean O'Grady. Oh, Albert. Oh, hold on. I know Sean O'Grady. I can't recall Albert though. Albert O'Grady.
No,
Marv Albert.
That's
Albert.
Al Albert. Yeah, he. Oh, you never heard him? He did
Nope.
some announcing back in the 80s.
Nope. Don't recall that name. I
Okay.
don't recall his name right now, but he's the one that he came out with repeating the last name twice. He was out of Philadelphia, this gentleman. His name escapes me right now. What was his name? Maybe one of the listeners out there can shoot it out, type it out to us. I forget his name.
Okay, no problem.
He was a good, very good ring announcer as well. Yeah. And one ring announcer from Brooklyn, New York, who I read had a terrible accident, Dave Diamante.
Word.
Yeah, did you know about that? He had a motorcycle accident.
No.
You did not know about that? Yeah, sure.
No.
He had a terrible motorcycle accident, Dave Diamante. I read that. I think I read that in the Post or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Very sad. Very sad. Yeah. I hope. Praying for him. I want him to come back just as good as new. Yeah, once again, a terrific look, eh? Great voice, Dave Diamante, but a great look with the dreads, and I love the hats and the glasses and all that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Now, I like that. Marv
Albert, great broadcaster. Great broadcaster. You know, a lot of guys that are getting at the broadcast. You see a lot. Obviously, we've always done that. We've always seen that, I should say. Broadcast about fighters and getting into broadcasting. Another one that's really great on the mic. Listen. I used to really enjoy Roy Jones, but Lennox Lewis. Also, I've had the privilege and the honor of meeting this great champion, Lennox Lewis, on many occasions, and he's doing some broadcasting now, and he's very interesting to listen to. Brings a very, very, very nice and a very well. You know what? I found him to be a very gentleman, classy type fighter. He very well represented. The heavyweight title. He's a very nice man, and I think he brings the same thing to his broadcasting career.
Gotcha.
So pleasant to hear.
Yeah. Gil Clancy and Tim
Ryan. Oh, God. Gil Clancy, of course. Great trainer. Fantastic trainer. Went on to become a great broadcaster. Newest stuff. Teddy Atlas tells it like it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I was checking out some stuff like about 2 weeks ago about ring announcers. They put Teddy Atlas up there like for the top 5.
As a broadcaster, well, for sure.
Yes.
I mean, you get a former trainer like that, former world-class trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Gil Clancy, same thing. These guys, they're so interesting to listen to, especially somebody like Teddy Atlas. I love Teddy's observations. He tells it like it is. He says what he sees.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Now, y'all can start putting your questions in the chat now. Y'all can put your questions in the chat right now. Go ahead.
I've got another very good. I've got another one. You know Russ Amber, I'm sure.
Yes.
World-class cut man. He's Mr. Rival Equipment. I mean, the quality of his equipment is legendary now. I mean, you see the fighters wearing his gloves, wearing his trunks and all that. Now, he's out of Montreal as well. And at one point, I got another, this is a terrific one. I love this. I love saying this one all the time. At one point, I'm ring announcing, and it's the beginning of the evening, and he's actually doing broadcasting for the French network. He's, he's commenting and all that. And you know how a ring announcer, I call one guy, makes his way from the back to the ring, and then I call the other guy, makes his way to the ring. Then I go to the judges and the referee, and then I do formal introduction, and the fight starts. It's the way it goes. So Russ is down there, and at one point I call the first guy, the applause. He makes his way to a ring. Then I don't call the other guy. I go right away. Here are the judges for this fight. Judge number one, and Russ is frantically getting my attention. He's waving at me like, Pierre, you forgot the second guy. He's still in the back. You only got one guy in the ring. So you know what he says that live on TV. He says, I think Pierre wants to finish early tonight because he's not even bothering introducing the second guy.
Oh my goodness.
So fun. You know what? That's what I love about ring announcing, because most of the time, on TV or not, you're live. You're without a net. You're on, and if something happens, you got to roll with the punches. That's what you have to do. And that's what I love about it.
Yes, you love about
People ask me, are you ever afraid? I've gotten this quite a few times. Are you afraid to make mistakes? I say, I make mistakes every single night. We all do. You just have to keep going.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Queen Huaya asks, at what age was you when you announced your first fight, and who was fighting?
You know what? I should know who was fighting in my first fight. I know who was the main event. It was a hard-hitting left-handed puncher called Renan Saint-Just out of Montreal. He had a whole bunch of knockouts. One of his best fights was against Alan Green, who remember when Alan Green fought Codrington? I mean, Codrington was a heavy favorite, and Alan Green went in there, and it was brutal. Now, I don't remember, but I've been a ring announcer for 17 years, and I'm going to be 57. I'm going to be 58, I should say. So I was 40.
Got you. Now, and also
started late, but been a fan all my life.
Okay. So it's about 20 years or more than that?
Going on. It's going to be about 17 years now.
Oh, that's young.
Like I said, I'm very proud to say that, when I first started this in a very small venue, I mean, I was thinking, I was dreaming, I was hoping. I say, one day I'll be on HBO. One day I'll be on Showtime. One day I'll hear, and it actually happened for me with Bob Papa. I mean, Bob Papa said, let's go to the ring announcer, Pierre Bernier, on HBO World Championship Boxing. Now, to me, I mean, on that night, I said to myself, if I never ring announce again, I mean, I'd done Showtime before, which was, just as fantastic for me. But I mean, imagine, I said to myself on that night, if I never ring announce again, I've done everything I ever wanted to do. Except there's one, you know what? You get a little greedy. I'd love to do MSG. I would love to do Madison Square Garden. Well, that's a dream. Well, that's a dream. That's a dream. Do Madison Square Garden, the greatest sports arena in the world. I mean, the history is there. That's incredible. But no, that I would love to do. 17 years now.
Wow. Now, another question from Queen Wham. She said, IMHO in the 70s and the 80s were the best decades for boxing. What does... Oh, no. That's no. She said, would you, our guest, please let us hear how would you announce a fight?
Well, you know what? I think the best way to have it, because it wouldn't do it justice right now. I
Gotcha.
would say the best thing to do is, if you want, go online. Go online and hear some of those fights. The one I love the most is when I introduced David Lemieux when he fought Hassan Endam for the middleweight championship of the world. But you know what? Let's do something. What weight class are you in, Jerry?
Weight class?
What's your weight class?
My weight class?
What's that?
Let me see.
Yeah.
I'll probably be like heavyweight.
You'd be heavyweight? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try this.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the undefeated defending champion, the one, the only Jerry Thomas. I'm sorry for the audio. Let's hope that sounded good.
Hey, sound bad. Sound good to me. Sound good to me. That's right. I'm heavyweight champion right here because he said it. So now I'm heavyweight champion. And let me see.
I didn't want to disappoint. I didn't want to disappoint the lady.
Nah,
I wanted to do it.
She loves it. She loves it. Now she said, IMA show in the 70s and 80s were the best decades for boxing. What does Mr. Bernay agree? If not, what was his favorite decade for boxing? That's a good question.
Well, listen, it's all relevant to where and when you grew up. That's what I say, to what you were exposed to. I mean, like we were talking about before with Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, remember that? What was the Eddie Murphy movie when they're talking about Rocky Marciano and they're talking about, what was the skit they were in? They were in the barber shop. What's that? What was that movie? That was so funny. I mean, was it Coming to America, I think?
I think it was Come to America, yeah.
You know, it all depends on what you were exposed to. I mean, listen, I think personally, the greatest Olympic squad ever assembled for me was in Montreal, 76. The Spinks brothers, Sugar Ray Leonard, Leo Randolph, Brelin. I mean, you can't beat that team. I think they all won gold medals.
Yeah. And don't forget about Howard Davis too. Well, he never reached
exactly Howard Davis.
Yeah,
Howard Davis. He was captain of the squad. Sure.
Yeah, he never. I mean, in the professional career, he did all right, but he never reached, the heights of they did. He never won the world title.
I would have to say the Four Kings era. That's what I would say. For me, that was my decade. The Four Kings. Leonard Duran, Hearns, and Hagler. I mean, who could ever forget Hagler Hearns? Introduced by Chuck Hull. Introduced by Chuck Hull. And I mean, Sugar Ray when he fought Thomas Hearns. Thomas Hearns, another such a pleasant man. I met him. I did a fight card just outside of Detroit in Windsor, Ontario, just across the bridge. And he was there in attendance. And the promoter of that event, once again, sees me. When you're a ring announcer, when the promoter comes and says, okay, by the way, these are last minute things you have to say tonight. And you know what? It's our job. Okay. He says, I'd like you to introduce a fighter. I say, okay, who is it? Thomas Hearns. I'm like, Thomas Hearns? Thomas Hearns is here. I'm like, oh my God. So I got to talk to him and shake his hand and all that. And for me, it's priceless. Thomas Hearns. Can you imagine that? Oh God.
Wow.
Kronk Jim.
Kronk Jim, Detroit.
The Cobra, the Motor City Cobra.
Yeah, the first fighter ever unified 6 different weight classes. Yeah, he was the first one. First one to do it.
Incredible. This guy, Thomas Hearns, you didn't say his reach. It was a wingspan. What a reach on that guy. What a reach on that guy.
Yeah, what a reach.
When he fought Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Oof.
The best 3 rounds ever.
Yep, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Best 3 rounds ever. Another question on Queen Who I Am. Does Mr. Bernay has any famous autographs?
I've got A few, but I like pictures. I like to take pictures. And if I'm in the position to do so, and I feel it's not too demanding, because, you know, when we see a lot of these icons, I mean, they get asked so many times, and I really don't want to bother them, but I have quite a few pictures. I had a great shot with Sugar Ray Leonard as well.
Oh,
I don't
somebody.
know if you could see that one, but I don't know if it was up there or something like that, but it was a great shot I had with Sugar Ray as well.
Good.
Yeah, that was a keeper for me.
Wow.
I
Somebody.
have Leon Spinks' autograph. I
Oh, you
have Jake
know?
LaMotta. Yeah,
Wow.
I have Leon, who just passed away. I have Jake LaMotta,
Mm-hmm.
Roberto Duran. I have Roberto's autograph. Yeah, I have a few of them.
God, okay, that's cool. Oh, somebody gave you a compliment. Cynthia A said Pierre is the #1 ring announcer in Canada, classy with a great voice and very professional.
Well, that's very nice to hear. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
great
yeah.
to hear.
Oh, and Queen Who I Am, she said she liked the way how you announced me. Sounds great. And Cynthia A, yeah, Cynthia A said, oh, she got another one. She said, would you like to announce in MMA?
Listen, I would love to announce anything. I go to the drive-through with the car and I'm announcing there.
Mm.
I'm gonna have a Big Mac trio, large fry, Coke, no ice. I announce anything. Anything. I'd love to announce anything. I'll announce anything.
Oh, Bruce said the movie was coming to America. Yeah, he's right, coming to America.
Yeah, great
Um,
movie.
yeah.
What did he
Um,
say? What did he say in the movie? He said Joe Louis was 175 years old or something like that. Oh, I
yeah.
can't remember it word for word. It's so funny.
Hmm.
Funny
But
stuff.
let me ask you a question. Now you've been around Boston, like I've been around Boston, but you've been in it for a long time. Do you see a fighter that right now that you said it could be, it don't have to be one fight, it could be a few that you know that you say, yeah, that reminds you of another fight in the past that's going to take boxing to the next level?
A few of them. A few of them. I really think. I mean, I'm reiterating again with our Slambek Bakhmudov, but he's a force to be reckoned with in the heavyweight division.
Mm.
I mean, to everybody listening out there, you got to tune in again, punchinggrace.com, February 19th. This young man's in the main event. 19 and 0, sorry, excuse me, 13 and 0, 13 KOs. It's unstoppable. Unstoppable. Like I said, I mean, he knocked out Sam Peter. He stopped Jonathan Rice. I mean, he's a force. And there's two super middleweights that are fighting out of Montreal right now. One's out of Paris, France. His name is Christian Solid Mbili, WBC Continental of America's champion.
Okay.
He is a beautiful to watch young fight, puts punches together, great power. Another undefeated, a great undefeated sensation. I mean, world ranked. Another one, Eric Bazinian, NABO super middleweight champion. These are young guys that are, I mean, they're really on the verge of worldwide explosion as far as showcasing the talent that they have. Great. Well, we have a lot of, I mean, of course, I mean, I see all the fighters out of Montreal. I mean, I keep an eye out to see who's happening. Like before, I was talking about Ryan Garcia, but I mean, of course, I'm paying attention to what we have over here. I mean, it's such a pleasure to see them.
Yeah.
I mean, like a young man, Simon Keane. I mean, when you represent your country at the Olympic Games, there's something there. There's something there. Now, this guy was at the 2012 games. I'm reiterating. I'm mentioning it again, but this guy beat Tony Yoka. I mean, Tony Yoka's all over now in boxing circles. No, it's very. We have it's very impressive, and I mean David Lemieux. I mean, this guy is every fight this young man's in, highlight reel material. Highlight reel material.
Okay.
I've read that there could be a confrontation with I think Benavidez.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be something to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, you're right.
Very exciting to see. Yeah,
Yeah.
very exciting.
Okay. Queen Who I Am. She said, "Are women still boxing?" Yeah, women still boxing. On Queen Who I Am, I can answer that. And she want to know: has you ever announced a woman's fight?
Yes, I had. I've announced a women's a few women's professional bouts. And who did I announce? I could be wrong, but I think I once announced Mia St. John.
Oh,
But I think so. I think it, and as a matter of fact, I think it was on an all-female card in Ottawa, which is our nation's capital, Canada's capital, far out in another province, not Quebec. And I think she was, if I'm not mistaken, I'd have to recheck, but I think if my memory serves me right, she was the main event on the card. Mia
wow.
St. John. She's out of Los Angeles, right? California?
I think so. I think you're right.
I think so.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And Alicia Napoleon. Alicia from Brooklyn, I think. Alicia Napoleon. That must sound familiar to you, Jerry. She's out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, I heard of her.
Yeah, she was on that card as well. Very nice young lady. Very nice. Very nice. Everybody is always nice in boxing. I mean,
yeah. Let me see.
it's funny, eh? Such a brutal sport, such a hard sport where people, I mean, they trade blows but they're such nice people. Such nice people.
There is another question, and Cynthia A said, how did you start with Eye of the Tiger boxing?
I'm you know what, I was working out in a gym in Montreal, and I met this promoter. Well, he was managing at that particular time. He was managing Berman Stiverne. In English, they always say Berman Stiverne, who was the fighter who won the WB. He's the former WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And Mr. Estefan told me, said, I'm a manager. And then we started talking, and we'd see each other at the gym once in a while, and we'd always talk boxing and all that. And at one point he said, I'm going to be putting on my first card, and I've seen you before, and with Inner Box and all that, on the different broadcasts I do and all that. He says, I'd like you to be my ring announcer. And I said, sure, I'd love to. I said, just obviously, I mean, being very professional, I had to check the date. And I did. I had no event that night. So I said, sure, let's go. I love it. And it was great. And it's a fantastic promotional group. And I've been with them ever since now, 10 years. 10 years with this family. It's really like a family setting.
Yeah, I could tell, because when I was reading it, when I was like, really, because I've been checking that out for a while. And it seems like I said they work like as a family and stuff. And then as you know, it's very rare in this business.
Well, I've been very lucky to work with wonderful people throughout my whole life, throughout my whole career. I mean, the people at the networks. I've worked with people at, like I said, at every network, and everybody's been just wonderful.
Mm-hmm. So
just fantastic.
So how's Stevenson doing?
Adonis Stevenson, I haven't heard much about. I've seen that he's fairly active on social media, and he's around and all that. And you know what? It's such a great thing that we didn't have to lose an athlete. We didn't have to lose a person to an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to him. I'm pretty sure. I mean, the surgeons and all, they got to him. They just in time. It was very close. He saved his life. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I can't say enough. I mean, I have to congratulate and be in awe of the medical personnel that we have here and the athletic commission that we have here in Montreal, because there was no time wasted. Everything was done according to the way it should be done, and they got him where he needed to be as quickly as they could, and the result is there. He's still with us.
That's great. Now, what's your kid's name? I forgot to ask that question.
My son's called Matthew, and my daughter's name is Kayla.
Oh, okay.
I got 2 great kids.
Okay, both grown, right?
Oh yeah. My son's my son is 28. My daughter's 25.
Oh wow. Okay.
My son's a big fight fan. My son watches the fights all the time, and my daughter not so much, but she tells her friends that I'm a ring announcer, and then they look me up. It's so easy now with social media. Look me up.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Oh,
no, it's pretty cool.
Right.
And I mean,
and what? Good.
I mean, it's wonderful. I'm a ring announcer, but I see other ring announcers. I mean, there's a lot of them coming up now. A lot of younger ring announcers. There's a young lady that often does the undercard when I do events here. Her name is Alinda. She's a young ring announcer, and yeah, she's doing a wonderful job. It's so nice to see the passion just passed on. That's what I enjoy. And I enjoy when I enjoy so much when fight fans come to see me and they want to talk boxing, and they see you and they want to get the information out, and they just want to talk to you, and they just want to know how it makes you feel to be up there. And it's such a pleasure to be able to transmit that energy to the fight fans. I just love it. I got to be honest. My wife is not exactly thrilled all the time when we're out or something like that, and some person comes over and says, "Hey, remember, I know you, and we're doing this, and you're the guy," and all that. And she's like, "Oh, here we go. We're going to talk boxing for another 3 hours." But no, but it's great. It's great. It's just fun, and she's managed to come with me, like I said, a few times. It's not her cup of tea, but I mean, she enjoys being with me, and I mean, we're a great couple. I mean, married the love of my life at 31 years ago. It's so fortunate.
Yeah, man. 'Cause I see. That's what I put. I'm gonna put the picture up there one more time. One more. I gotta do it one more time.
That was a pandemic picture. My God, my hair was so long. It was as long as she had. Yeah.
That's a happy couple right there. And they said marriage don't work. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah. It's just great.
She's back. You can't get with me.
Oh, we got you back, Sharon.
It's like we're just married. Yeah, I guess it's 9 o'clock. Is it 10 o'clock? So bachelor's over, Jerry.
Yeah,
that's how I know she's back.
Yeah, she's back. So this one. Yeah, so Sharon, don't worry about it. What we going to do? We're gonna close this out. But brother Pierre, I want you to come back, because I do talk about boxing, and I want you to be part of the panels sometimes.
I'd love to.
He loves talking about boxing.
I'd love to. Anytime, my friend.
Okay.
Anytime.
And don't worry about Sharon. I'm not gonna keep him up. I'm not gonna keep him up, because I know you want him to get off the phone, and I know the cues. I was married once. I know the cues. So can you bless us with your last remarks, please, brother?
Well, I'd like to say thank you to all the fans supporting the fighters and supporting the events. And I want to say that you know what? If you ever come across and you see me and all that, please don't hesitate to come to speak to me. I mean, I just love to talk boxing. I'll talk about anything. I just love people. It's just great to meet all the fight fans out there. And God bless everyone and stay safe during these hard times. I know it's not easy, but we're getting out of it. We're getting out of it. We're going to get back to normal, and everybody stay safe and do what you're supposed to do.
Could you squeeze out one question? E. Sterling said, any routine? I guess any routine, what you do or the ring announcer?
If I have a routine as a ring announcer, not really. You know what? Someone was asking me recently, like, do I write things out and all that? I mean, I'll write notes and all that, but I don't. No, not really. I kind of rehearse the names because I always want to mention the sponsors and make sure that, you know, they support us. So we want them to be mentioned. So I always make sure that I proudly announce the sponsors and not forget anybody and try to get the correct pronunciation. That's very important to me, to make sure that everybody's name is pronounced right. That's why I write it phonetically,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but sometimes people think I have a really bad spelling, but I don't. I write it phonetically to be able to pronounce it right. But some names are, you know, I appreciate you playing that clip of me before when I mentioned that's one of my favorite.
Do you want to? Could I hear it again, please? Sharon, can we hear it again?
Librado Andrade is a great name as an announcer.
I got to play it again because I want to close this out. Please, can I do that for you? Can you do that? Can I do that? Okay. This is the great one. We're going to close this out. Give it to you right now.
S'affiche his professional record, an excellent one. 27 victories, only one defeat, with 21 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the IBF's #1 ranked contender from the Hub Rock, California, in the United States, Librado Andrade. Son adversaire dans le coin rouge is a opponent in the red corner. Il n'a besoin d'aucune introduction. Il porte la culotte bleu et argent. Wearing blue, red with silver. Son poids officiel, 168 livres. He weighed in at 168 pounds. Sa fiche, parfaite. 22 victoires, dont 18 par 10 heures de combat. His professional record, absolutely perfect. 22 wins, no defeats, with 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Ce soir, il règne avec une domination incontestée en tant que champion mondial de l'IBF. Introducing the current, undefeated IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the world, de Montréal, Lucian Boutte!
There it is. The one and only. There it is. I don't have to say his name. Came right here. Gave us all the jewels and everything. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And then, like I said, we dedicated of the losses of his family. We dedicate this live to them. But we want to thank you so much to take out your time to come here. Thank you so much. And we really much appreciate it. Guess he himself and everything. Okay. Everything all right? What I would say is this, that that this has been a powerful live tonight. This been great. Great interviewer. The great Pierre Botanet. And he just give us the life of a ring announcer. And watch out for him. He been doing this for a long 17 years. He won't be a star. And he learned from the greats like Howard Cosell. Learned from Michael Buffer. Even Bruce Buffer. Like I said, Howard Cosell, Dr. Freddie Pacheco. Gil Clancy. He learned from the greats. Even can't leave out John Lennon Sr. Great. But just remember, what happened to Brother Mace? What happened to Brother Mace? Just remember one thing though. It's crazy out there. Jimmy Lennon Jr., yeah. It's crazy out here. So man, no matter you single, no matter if you travel with your friends, here in the hospital, much prayers, and I will pray for him tonight. Much prayers to Brother Mace, but get back what I'm saying. If you have if you travel with family members, you travel with your friends, and you travel with your associates, just remember, take extra safety precaution out there because the climate out there, it's crazy and it's real. And we don't want nothing happen to y'all. All right? So on behalf of my channel, my secondary channel, the #1 grinder, Real Talk, yours truly, the #1 grinder, on behalf of Pierre, brother, the great ring announcer, Canada owned Pierre Bretonnet. Good night. Good night. And our fellow boxers has passed away in the past. Moments of silence, please. Ding, 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 ding. Have a good night. This one is Ghost. Stay well.